Good evening, everyone. Today's a special one. We're going to talk about the base set Charizard. Now, this isn't just any base set Charizard. This is my Grail of Grails. It is a BGS 9. Yes, the first edition is a BGS 8. This one is much more expensive than this one. I do not care. I'm going to tell you why I love this one more. So, I'm going to tell you a story. Story time. Why do I like the BGS 9 base set Charizard more than the first edition? Well, I'm going to tell you why. So, let's date back to about the fall time, 2023. My brother and I were still walking card shows. What we were doing is we'd go to the local shows in New Jersey. We would essentially take the cards that we had been buying raw at shows and grading. We would actually sell them to the vendors at the 80% that they were offering back then. But this for us, you know, we were buying cards at market price, grading them, and there was margins back in 2023. We were grading the SIRs that were coming out. We were grading the 151 Big 3. So what we do is we grade these cards, bring them to card shows, basically buy them, have a margin, offload them at 80%, still make some money, and have money to spend at the card shows. This is how we made a lot of friends that were vendors in the community. One thing that you notice is once you stop doing that, a lot of those vendor friends go away once you become a vendor yourself. So be wary of that. Anyways, so what we did was we decided, and I had mentioned this in another one of my videos, you know, I think it was actually in the first one. We wanted to start opening vintage packs on Christmas Day. So what we did was we were like, should we do base set? Should we do fossil? Should we do jungle? Should we do legendary? Legendary was only like $900 a pack back then. Even though it's absolutely crazy now, it was within reach back then. To have a little fun on Christmas, of course. Who cares, right? Gotta have a little fun in the hobby. So what we did was we agreed that we were gonna open a first edition fossil. So we had a friend of ours, another friender, you know, I'm not gonna mention any names, but what he did was he actually sold us 2 vintage fossil packs. We intentionally said, hey, we want heavy packs. So we got the heavy packs from him. We bought them both at the same time. And we were like, are they definitely heavy? He said, yes, here's the price for heavy. You know, I know where they came from, yada, yada. Okay, no problem. Fast forward to Christmas Day. We're going through, you know, my brother and I, we like to, you know, we make some food on Christmas Day. You know, I'll make a prime rib. You know, we have a lot of seafood, have all the sides, all the appetizers, drink a little scotch, you know, have a good time, right? So we were past appetizer time. It wasn't dinner time yet. We were starting to get a little lit. It was pretty nice. And we were like, hey, let's open those packs now. We're ready to go. So we pulled out the vintage first edition heavy fossil packs. And what happens next was not the most fun. So we both open up the vintage first edition fossil packs together. We do the card trick. We start going through one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. Clean cards, you know, they're all authentic. They're nice cards. They're cool, right? We get to the last card. I say, you go first, to my brother. And he goes, all right, I'll go first. He starts to pull the card. Boom. Hollow Dragonite, first edition. The best card, in my opinion. I know people like the Gengar, but the best card that I think that you can hit in vintage fossil, first edition. A beautiful Dragonite. We were stunned, we were amazed, we're like shaking. I still have, you know, one more card left to go before I reveal my hollow. And once we calmed down, we got the card into the plastic sleeve, we put the card into the top loader, and then we decided, okay, Nick, it's your turn. So we get to my card. I start to pull it up. Oh, we see yellow. We see yellow. What do we got? What do we got? Is it going to be Magneton? Is it going to be Raichu? What do we got? We pull the last card up. Non-hollow first edition Magneton. The room was silent. After the excitement of the Dragonite, the air was sucked directly out of the room. We purchased these packs at heavy price. We paid heavy price. We got them from a reliable source. We did everything right, A to Z. The person just made a mistake. Now listen, there's a big argument here. If you pay heavy price, is it supposed to be heavy? In my opinion, yeah. If you pay heavy price, it's supposed to be heavy. Not, oh, you paid heavy price and it could be heavy. Isn't that unweighed? Isn't that what people charge for unweighed, kind of between light and heavy? Has anybody ever paid for a light and got a hollow? I mean, sometimes, but it's a lot more rare that it happens that way. It's much more common occurrence that somebody's paying heavy price for a potentially light pack. So anyways, the air was sucked out of the room. Now I'm going to backtrack just a little bit. A couple weeks before that, we had been at another show. We were going to the Woodbridge Card Show, that's what it was. And I saw one of my buddies there. He was selling vintage packs. I had just did a deal for some other cards. I had sold some slabs or something. I had some cash on me. He had a heavy base set vintage pack. And I said to him, really good friend of mine, I said, how much you want for that pack? And he goes, Nicky, it's 500. And I was like, right on point. That's where a vintage heavy pack was in 2023. I think it was like September at this time or something like that. And he said, it's $500. And I said, all right, do you know where that pack came from? And he goes, yeah, I know the exact box that it came from. It's heavy, 100%, like there's no doubt. And I was like, okay. I think I gave him a $200 card and I gave him $300. I was like, no problem. I'm not even going to try to negotiate. Like, you know, he basically gave me 100% for my card. So I was like, let's just get this done. He was like, I'm trying to move the pack. I was like, all right, cool. I had planned to keep that pack sealed forever. After the incident with the Magneton and the non-hollow fossil pack, the next day, after we were pretty devastated that had happened to me, we were excited for him that he hit the Dragonite, but we were definitely devastated for me that we couldn't share the excitement. It kind of ruined Christmas. It ruined the fun of it. It took some of the excitement away from him. He hit the best card. Even if I would have gotten anything hollow, it would have been a lot of fun. Anyways, we looked at each other and we were like, what are we gonna do? Like, what are we gonna do for redemption? And I was kind of like, I don't know. Like, I don't really know what I want to do. A couple days went by. I had a wedding coming up on the 31st of December. It was actually like a New Year's Eve wedding. And we were at a rehearsal dinner the night before. We were drinking a little wine. I got home, maybe 8 o'clock after the rehearsal dinner. We were having great Italian food. Great Italian food. I got home a little bit early. My brother and mother were hanging out on the couch. And I was like, what's up, guys? What's going on? And my brother was like, you want to have a scotch? And I was like, yeah, screw it. Let's have a scotch. So we had a scotch. Things really escalated right after that. And we started drinking a little bit of scotch. And he was like, you should just open that base set pack that you have that's heavy. And I was like, you think so? And he was like, I think so. And I was like, you think so? And he was like, yo, I think so. And I was like, you sure? He was like, I'm sure. Do it. Open the pack. And I was like, all right. So, what happens next? I go into my room. I grab the pack. I pull the pack out. I put it on the table. And I said, am I really going to do this? And my brother says, take another sip of scotch. I said, all right. I took another sip of scotch. And I was like, we got to do this. So, we decide we're going to open the pack. My brother had nothing to open. He was like, I'm just going to watch. Like, all right. Open up the pack. I was freaking out. Palms were sweaty. Knees were weak. I was sweating. I was dying. I have not opened a base set pack at all. Not even a non-hollow. Not even a hollow. Nothing. I have not opened a base set pack since I was probably 5 or 6 years old. I swear. So I was like, all right, we're going to do it. I open it up. Once it's open, you're in there. You're in. You're committed. You don't have a choice. I was going through the cards one by one. I remember calling, what was it, Professor Oak or something, Bill. Then we got to the end. Started to kind of pull it up, and I saw red. My face, you can watch in the video right there. I knew it. I was like, it's not Ninetales. That's Charizard. Revealed it. Crowd went wild. I went crazy. I lost my goddamn mind. Some of the most fun that I've ever had opening a pack. It is actually, that is the #1 moment of opening a pack. Like, besides, I don't know how happy I was as a kid. I knew I was thrilled, but I never pulled this as a kid. You remember, hey, I pulled a base set Charizard. I didn't pull this. Maybe I got one pack here and there from the shop. They were $3. They were like, hell no. We're not getting, you know, Pokemon packs. I remember I was getting scraps from the other kids. I like collected energies when I was younger because I was like all nobody wanted, right? This card means the world to me. Honestly, look at it. It's beautiful. So that's the story. And here's the pack art. Look, I signed it in 2023. Here it is. You can see. I actually did a pretty good job opening this. I'm not gonna lie. I really did my best to preserve the pack art. I just think it's so cool. I actually display it down here. But yeah, this is something that's like, it's like a little trinket to me, you know? That's where I pulled my baby from. We had a lot of fun, you know, with my Instagram. I was posting, you know, a lot of people couldn't believe that I pulled the Zard. My friend who sold me the pack was super happy for me. And, you know, he had known what just happened with the fossil pack. So, you know, it was kind of one of those really good karma moments. Like, hey, if I would have opened that base set pack like before that, sure, it would have been sick to hit the Zard, it would have been a story, but the feat of redemption from, you know, I kind of got scammed. I did get scammed on the heavy fossil pack because I paid heavy price. So I got scammed on the heavy pack. The person ended up refunding me half my money, which was cool. I mean, look, I'm somebody where back then, you know, I kind of just didn't really want any enemies. And, you know, I had really gotten scammed and screwed on Christmas Day. And it was super like depressing, if you will. Like, imagine it's Christmas Day and you have this plan with your brother and he pulls the best card and then you get scammed at that same moment. Like, it just was super deflating. So the feat of comeback, the feat of, you know, take risks in life and never be afraid to take the chance, because if you don't take the chance, you will never have the opportunity for something good to happen. You can't be afraid of things. You have to just go for it. And unless you just go for it, sometimes you'll never pull things like this. So guys, take the chance. Don't miss opportunities. Stay the course. Play each day like it's your last. It's just the Pokemon pack. I know I'm being super dramatic, but it was really one of the coolest experiences of my life because it was like, fuck yeah, like, let's go. Like, I came back down in the fourth quarter, came back, you know, opened up the heavy pack, was aggressive, didn't let fear stand in my way, and boom, we hit the best card. And honestly, I'm a Charizard guy. I love Charizard. So it was just like, how is it possible? I've only opened one pack since I was a child, and it was a base set Charizard. I will never open a pack of base set ever again. Why? Because I won. This is all I wanted. I just wanted to hit this. There's nothing else that I could have wanted from a base set pack. So guys, don't be afraid. Sometimes have a little fun. Treat yourself. And don't let people take advantage of you. Guys, if you liked the video, if you enjoyed the story about the Charizard, do me a favor, like the video, comment on the video. We're ramping up here. We're doing the thing. I'm trying to get everything out for you guys. I want you guys to learn my story. I want to learn about your story. Let's have some conversations. I want to talk to all of you. The giveaway is still live for the Prismatic Booster Bundle. We're going to 100 subscribers. So as soon as we get to 100 subscribers, that's when we'll give it away. Go onto my Instagram, DM me at Nicky Cards. Send me a picture of your favorite item in your collection. Just tell me why it's your favorite item, and I'll put you into the giveaway. I have a little notes pad of the people that are in it and the pictures of everything. I'm just gonna pick the winner. I don't have another card show for about a month, so you know, a lot of the content this month could be about pickups and, you know, life lessons and Pokemon purpose and a lot of cool things coming. I hope you enjoyed the video. I love you guys. Nicky Cards out.